So, we're in the middle of a very cold snap, nowhere colder than right here on the Kermode Uncut blog. Now, you may remember when we set the blog up about 18 months or so ago, and I said that one of the things I wanted it to be was a forum for your opinions of my opinions. And I said, if you disagree with me, if you think that what I said is wrong or rubbish or whatever, please feel free to say so, because, hey, everybody has the right to their own opinion. And I said that as long as what's said doesn't involve swearing or, isn't legally problematic, go ahead and say it. And thusly encouraged, you have gathered together as one to give me the worst set of reviews I have ever had in my entire life. People say sometimes that critics slag things off. They don't know what it's like to be slagged off. Well, it's certainly a lesson that I'm learning. So let me read to you some of the worst reviews that I've ever had, which were for a blog I posted. We shot it before Christmas, and it was what I considered to be a humorous blog about my newfound love of Guy Ritchie and his film Sherlock Holmes. Apparently you didn't find it funny or like it at all. So in the interest of fairness and, giving both sides of the argument, here are just some of your opinions. From Paul Can 38. Good God, man. If this is your attempt at comedy, then I shall totally disregard all your future reviews of comedy movies. From Celluloid. Well, that was painful. This from Brian in the New Forest, so a local boy. Benefit of the doubt, that's an ironically stilted offering. Estonian film fan joins the fray with this. After seeing that performance, I am now convinced that more contemporary British films must have you. You are an even better actor than Nick Cage. Don't be misled. That's not praise. That's ironic criticism, because I said that Nick Cage was a terrible actor. This from Contentious, spelt with a K. Mark, remember when you said Jennifer Aniston should stick to TV? Well, she's on the phone ranting about hypocrites or something. This from RB Evan X. Terrible performance, Dr. Kermode. I can see other film critics having a few words with you at the pub, which they would do if I actually went to the pub with other film critics, but I'm really not that popular. This from Fantasy Escapist. That reminds me of sitting through the first 30 minutes of In the Loop and barely even smiling, never mind laughing. This from Mark Pollock. I don't know why you think you can criticise Revolver after subjecting us to that painfully unfunny skit. It's the use of the word skit that really hurts more than anything. I mean, everything else, but the use of the word skit, that's a real dagger to the heart. Get off our screen, you bequiffed bag of opinions. This from Bill. Well thought out, and I admire this. The most serious problems with Revolver were the fact that it tried to be a serious and interesting crime thriller in the same vein as Heat or Casino, but got sidetracked with long, tortuously boring and badly written scenes, horrible attempts at humour, and a general feel that it's less about creating believable characters and more about promoting celebrities and their image. One of the serious problems of a good movie blog is that there is the very same temptation to get sidetracked from serious discussion into tortuously boring entries consisting of badly written attempts at humour and promoting the image of celebrity culture. Dr. K, you have been warned. And this, finally. This is from Craig. Kermode, on Kermode's short film At Homes with Guy. I'll read you the whole thing actually because it's worth it. Positively tiki. I want to throw myself into the fireplace in the background. The acting was so wooden for a second I thought the guy behind the mask was Orlando Gloom. The singing had the same awful charm of piercing scream Brosnan trying to sing his way through Mamma Mia. And don't get me started on The Good Doctor. My God, it wasn't just as bad as walking into a glass door. It was like being thrown into a glass door factory and being made to run into every door on the production line. All I need to find now is that the whole thing was directed by McGee. If there is one film worse than this in 2010, I will quit. Well, never let it be said that I do not take on board your criticisms, which I've read. Disagree with all of them. I'm right, you're wrong. But hey, opinions are for everyone. And I thank you for joining me in giving me the worst reviews of my career.